Welcome to this information video relating to operational management. Although specifically created for the Team Leader Supervisor qualification, you may have had this component added to your qualification as it has been deemed suitable for you. In relation to the Team Leader Supervisor standards, we will be covering organizational strategy and how this relates to operational planning, how to implement team operation plans, how to manage change within the team, how to manage resources within a team, data management and the use of different technologies in business, how to communicate strategy and deliver operational plans, organize, prioritize and allocate work, effectively use available resources, and collate and analyze data and produce reports. The starting point for any business will be to identify its strategy that outlines the journey that the business will take over an identified period. This may be a 1, 3 or 5-year plan. The strategy for the business can include growth or expansion, diversification, acquisition or sustaining its current outputs. The way the strategy is implemented will depend on its direction, and this will be determined by the strategy writers. From its vision, an organization will normally construct a mission statement which identifies the actions the organization must undertake to achieve the vision or visions and translates into each department's operational plans. Operational plans can be implemented in various ways. The list of considerations to implement shouldn't be new to you. However, to learn more about SMART targets and KPIs, please refer to pages 4 and 5 of your knowledge book. We now need to consider how to implement operational plans. All of these tools listed are included in your knowledge book for future referral. You will have completed your own SWOT analysis of your strengths and weaknesses at induction, and a PESTLE analysis will have been talked about during your decision making and project management. If you require more information on this concept, please refer to the video links on the final slide and the attached documents. One integral part of total quality management is the concept of Kaizen. The 4 main principles of Kaizen, as identified by Sheila Kane, are as follows. Analyze every part of a process down to the smallest detail. Identify how every part of the process can be implemented. Look at how employees' actions, equipment and materials can be improved. Look at ways of saving time and reducing waste. The cornerstone of TQM is active support and participation of the top management. It is a process, or rather a culture, that can only succeed with the total commitment and encouragement of top management. It is a top-down led process. 6 Sigma. Sort. Decide what is needed and what isn't needed in the area. Straighten. Arrange the items that are needed so that they are easy to find. Clarify. Identify locations for all the items so that anyone can find them and return them. Shine. Clean the workplace and equipment on a regular basis, which will help to identify defects. Standardize. Perform the first 3 steps frequently. Sustain. Maintain high standards and continue to improve every day. This is a maintenance philosophy that utilizes the skills of all employees and focuses on improving the overall effectiveness of the business by eliminating waste. TPM is used to achieve the following. Avoid time and resource wastage in a changing economic environment. Produce goods without reducing their quality. Lower costs. Produce non-defective goods. TPM makes maintenance activities an essential part of daily processes, even though they are sometimes seen as a non-profit task. But businesses reap the rewards of efficiency savings and more effective working environments, and it also reduces the risk of unscheduled or urgent maintenance activities. At this point, please refer to the reading on continuous improvement on page 8 in your knowledge book. From time to time, you may find that you face barriers or resistance to implementing change or sustaining it. These usually arise when there is a problem with an organization's culture. An effective manager should be prepared to have adequate information to hand to be able to provide a full picture of the situation, together with perceived benefits and advantages. Please refer to the task sheet for a supported learning task to reinforce this topic. Resource management is recognized to be the process of using an organization's resources in the most efficient way possible. For resource management to be successful, it should be recognized that resources come in many forms, and it is essential that they are fit for purpose. Resources can consist of physical resources such as equipment, goods and money, and human resources such as employees or volunteers. It is also a good idea to categorize resources to determine which are in the most demand and which are adding the most and the least value to the business. This will enable you to prioritize resources and manage their allocation to departments or individuals in your area of responsibility. The planning of resources must include that they are of correct quality, be of good quality, and be available at the time they are needed. Where resources relate to products and services, levels should be managed to ensure that high profit items are kept to a maximum and low profit items are kept to a minimum. Their use must be closely controlled to ensure products or customer service levels are maintained. Resources must be monitored and reviewed to ensure their availability when required and to identify trends and patterns to inform future resource use. It is only too easy for a busy manager to allow existing resources to run low. It is inevitable in any business that the cost of the resources will be the biggest running cost or overhead of the business, so it is important to allocate them appropriately and track their location and who have they been allocated to. Think about the role of ICT in your place of work: computers, telephone software systems, accounting software, internet and intranet, and networking machinery, etc. Data management needs to be controlled not only from a legal perspective but an organizational one. There is a list of legislation that can be researched in detail on the site listed on the screen. Prepare notes on these acts so you are familiar with how they could support your company is ensuring data is confidential and policies exist to protect the use of data information sharing equipment in your workplace. The PDCA cycle supports how you can prioritize and organize your team's responsibilities so the organization's strategy and consequent operational plans are efficient and accurate. The Deming wheel asks the questions: what should be done? What do we do and how? What has been done and what remains to be completed? Communication strategies to teams and individuals. As a manager, you will need to support the fulfillment of your company's vision and mission statement, contribute to departmental planning in line with organizational objectives, set smart key performance indicators that meet teams' or individuals' objectives in line with those of the organization, recommend and implement changes to processes and procedures that improve practice and the achievement of objectives, manage and review the use of resources. Finally, as a manager, you must consider how you will communicate your strategy to your team. Your team will all absorb information completely differently. If you only use posters to convey your communication strategy and have some employees that aren't visual learners, those employees will be affected. If you only send an email out explaining the strategy, team members who routinely ignore long emails won't necessarily be engaged in the information. Presenting in a range of formats, example audio, visual, and written for strategy communication, everyone can understand and implement within their role. Consider a willingness to make adjustments when possible and realize that the potential for the need to step back and alter your strategic plan based on the feedback. It is important for you firstly to be aware of the difference between quantitative and qualitative data. Quantitative refers to measuring something rather than its quality, and qualitative refers to measuring something rather than its quantity. Information and data management in a business will take many forms, from facts and figures to opinions and an interpretation of actions. When dealing with data, whether it be sickness absence information to performance management statistics, as a manager, you need to adhere to the checklist that the information you are working with is accurate, valid, reliable, and complete before you can make any accurate decisions. To recap this tutorial, you should have been provided with a knowledge booklet, fact/task sheets, and your standard assignment. Please see the link below for aspects of the tutorial that can be reinforced via these video sessions.